Hello, my name is Mathias and I'm going to show you my Dungeon Runner game code. First off, we have some includes. First one to have inputs and outputs, the next one to have random numbers, and the third one to have a get function. And we use standard namespacing to interpret the includes in a standard way. And also down here we have the functions, different functions used, which is simply going to send out text. And I'm going to show you one example. Down here, that's just gonna be the game over, which sends out a CLS, system CLS, cleans out the screen, sends out some text, game over, thanks for playing, and then pauses the system. Yes, and then you see I have some different structs. Down here, the struct enemy, which contains a character, how the character is gonna look, and the integers where the position is gonna be. I didn't use the structs on all my enemies because I did it in a different way, but I have included it, so it should be alright. Here I have the main function. The main function contains mostly all of my code. Down to here. And I'm gonna tell it as quick as I can because it's further long. First of all, we have the character, which is equal to 1, which gives out a smiley. It's a code for a character. And the position is going to be 1.1, and we're going to have 3 hero lives. Here we used the look element inside an enemy class, and we said enemy and variable name enemy class look enemy look, and then the enemy look is equal to the look variable, which is assigned to a star, and that's for the mines, the first enemy. Then we have some variables for the several enemies. The first one is enemy count, which controls whether the first enemy is visible or not visible. Second of all, we have some different strings with some different questions and some answers to those questions. This is some of the arrays I made. And down here we have a string containing all the different kinds of string questions, which I'm going to randomly choose between. So we get random questions for each time, and then an integer for guess, so we can guess between these answers. And then we have the position of the enemies, and here we also use the enemy class in order to get the positions of the enemy. But I also used another way to do it down here, where I didn't use this one, and I tried to use a method to find the length of the array, and I also did that, but this is actually very inefficient way, but yeah, that's just a way to find the length of the array. And that's basically it, not much interesting to tell there. And then we have the goal, which has the position. Here we also use the struct for the goal, which is position, and variable name is position. Position is a pos x, and it's equal to 13. Yeah, just another example of it. And then down here we have some start text, just saying welcome, and this is called awesome game and stuff. You're also going to see that in the game. Here we have the infinite loop, which loop all the code. And down here we have, this is more interesting, down here we have the actual maze made. It's made from a 2D array, which you see up here, an unsigned 2D array maze, which has width and height characters, as one has those characters. And you see the whole maze here. And then the way we print this out is that we are gonna have a for loop down here, saying that as long as y is less than hero y plus 3, it's going to be plus 1, meaning that it will go, and then it's going to go down a line. If you see in the game, it's going to work like this, that it's only gonna be like an exploratory maze, as you see here, since it will not loop more than a bit from the hero position plus 3. And also for each line it's gonna make another loop. It's a double loop, this one, which is for each line it's gonna loop some x's, a lot of x's down on the x-axis, and then when it's done doing that, it's gonna go down the line again, the loop, and then put some more x's on. And that's pretty much how we print out the maze, and then of course printing out the maze here. Then first off we have an enemy, the first enemy. Yeah, and for him we put in a for loop, so that all of this is gonna count for each of the mines we create. And what it does is that if the enemy count is equal to 1, it's gonna be visible. The look is gonna be enemy look, and if it's bigger than 1, it's gonna be enemy invisible look. This is what we're gonna use. And the way we output the enemy is that we're gonna take a position of the maze and assign it to the character. And down here you just see that it returns whenever the count enemy is equal to 4, it's gonna go back to 1, so it keeps looping. And then if the enemy is at the same, or the hero is at the same position as the mine, a little sound will appear, the hero will return to its start position and lose alive. A text will appear from one of the function we made saying boom, and we're going to a function that deletes the screen is going to be performed, and then the loop will break. Yeah, and that's the first enemy. The second enemy is a bit more complex. First off, we have a random number in order to pick one of the 3 questions randomly, and then also we make a loop so it counts for all the questions. What's gonna happen down here? And then first off, we're gonna input take a position from the position array enemy to x, and then put it in here in the maze. So there's gonna be, and that position then is gonna be assigned as an enemy to loop. Then if our hero meets this enemy, it's gonna put out a sound, it's gonna end the line, and it's gonna put in one of the questions. And if the questions is, or the random number is equal to 1, then it's gonna see out the different options matching that question. And then if you guess the right question, which in this case is 2, the enemy will move, and it's gonna send out, oh okay, you caught me, text function. Or else it's gonna put you back in the start position, minus a life from your hero, and then send it out a text saying I just killed you or something. And that's for one question, and then second question, third question, and that's pretty much it. And then for every time when it's done, it's going to delete the scene and break and go back to the actual game. The third enemies is the portals, and as we did before, we have a for loop, so all of them, this is going to count for all of them. And first we assign a maze position to be the portals, which we did before also. And then it says if there's a collision between the enemy and the hero, the hero will be sent somewhere on a new position, and it's either gonna be, like here, it's either gonna be 1.1 with two of the what we call it portals, or it's gonna be position dot post x, which is the position of the goal -1. So it's gonna be right next to the goal, and it's gonna send out a portal function saying sweep text, and it's gonna delete the scene and then clear the scene and then break the loop. And then we have down here we have the goal, which is set to position. The maze position is assigned to be a goal loop, and if the hero is equal to that position of the goal function will send out a text which clears the screen and send out, you congratulations. And the same with this one, just game over if you lose all your life. Then we have the key actions. What they do is that whenever a B, C, A, S, D, or V case appears, the then we will see out a this code is just for placing the life and placement of a text where it says which place you are, and it's gonna forever hue y. If the height minus hue y is bigger than I, then it's gonna see out, and then it's gonna match always be at the bottom of the screen, and it's gonna see out and because send out the life to the screen, and it's gonna see out your placement. Then we have a get function, and what the get function does is actually just that whenever a button is pressed, you don't have to press enter because it don't have to buffer. It doesn't have to buffer. So you can just, whenever you press a movement, it's gonna move instead of you pressing a movement and pressing enter, which is really nice. And then how we do it, if we press a D, for example, and the position of the maze position of the hero position, where the X position +1 is not equal to a wall symbol, then you can move the hero to the right by plussing its X with 1, and that's basically the same for all of these cases. Then the system will clear the screen for each loop and then count the enemy counter on the mines to be plus by 1. So you remember the thing with the mines being visible and invisible. It clears the screen and then it actually loops, and then the infinite loop stops, or not stops, it ends and then goes again. So we clear the screen and then adds see out the screen once again, and that's basic, and then we end the main function, and that's basically it for the code. And then we have the different functions are made with the text, which I already have shown you. So let's take a look at how the game actually works. Let me just see F9. Oh, we're just gonna have the screen down here. Welcome to Awesome Game. Tryck på en tast for at fortsætte. And then you see this is you, I'm a little smiley, and this is your challenges. Blinks, mines, and riddlements, and portals. This is the controls and action. So we're down here and we're moving. Oh. How many dogs do Mathias have? I have 1. You're right. Okay, so we move on. And it's a big field, so I'm just gonna go quickly through it. And then you see here, oh, there's a bomb, and if I go in here, I'm gonna boom, I'm gonna die and lose a life. So my life is equal to 2. So I'm just gonna go quickly through it. I know it already because I made it. Yes. And then, as you see, it's an exploratory maze. How many dogs do I have? I have 1. And there's a line. And then 2. It's quite easy questions, but it's just to get an idea of it. And we go down here, and we go down, exploratory, and he forgets all the time. That's he's a silly man. He goes down, and then we have the portals down here, and it also says portals. And I know that this is the right portal, so I go into that. Sweet! And I'm here at the goal, which is an O, and I go down to that. Congratulations, you won, and that's the actual game. So, thanks for watching. I hope it's okay. And have a nice day.